Hello, and welcome back to Market House, the podcast where we talk all things Disney. My name is Caleb.
And I'm Caitlin.
And we are very excited to be back. It's been an exciting week for multiple reasons. Number one, we've survived the hottest week so far on record.
So far.
It was, on average, three figures, is that what you say? 100 degrees?
Yes.
It's been over 100 degrees every day for the past week. Mm-hmm. That's been miserable. So it's been hot and toasty in Sacramento. We're almost out of it. I think next week it's supposed to
It's going to drop down into the 80s.
Thank God.
Which is ironic because for 4th of July weekend, it's going to be high 80s. Instead of normally in California, 4th of July is usually around 105, 106.
Well, here, yeah.
So...
yeah, Sacramento, man. It can get toasty here in the valley. But looking forward to that dip in temperature. But also other exciting news is it looks like we have a ton more friends over on Instagram.
Yes, and on here.
Yeah.
So hello, everybody.
Hello. Yeah, if you're new, hello. If you're not, welcome back. But yeah, no, we're doing a little giveaway, and that's gotten some attention, so that's been nice. And I didn't think about this when we said when we're supposed to pull, which is not, we're recording on a Saturday, and we're not supposed to pull the winner until late Sunday night or early Monday morning.
Yeah.
So this week you won't hear who the winner was. It'll all be announced on Instagram.
Yes.
But we will, drop a little something in next week's episode on who won, and maybe we'll find out what they did with it by then.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, it's been nice meeting some new people, and we've been kind of going back and forth on DMs on Instagram and just meeting new people, saying hi, and we've learned some amazing Disney stories from people, which is so cool to hear, and it's exciting. So welcome everyone. We're so excited that you're here and can't wait for us to dive into this week's episode. It's gonna be super fun.
Yeah. So this week I'll give you a little preview of what we're doing here. Of course, we'll cover the latest Disney news. And then for today's main segment, we're going to play a little game, this or that Disneyland Resort edition. So, for example, I'll say, hey, Caitlin, Big Thunder Mountain or Haunted Mansion? And you have to just choose between two very good rides.
Yeah.
And give me your reasoning. So it'll be fun. And you can play along at home, too. Maybe you can ask family members or friends these same this or that's and see what they prefer and why they do. But it's hard.
It's going to get a little tricky.
It'll get a little tricky. We've got some good ones.
Yeah.
So anyways, let's dive into that news.
First up, we have some new Disney Wish news. The Disney Wish just arrived in its new home in Port Canaveral on June 20th. The Disney Cruise Line is now preparing for their new maiden voyage on July 14th. Now, this voyage was originally supposed to happen earlier.
No, I don't think so. So this is the July 14th date is regular guests. Everyone's welcomed on this one. What was canceled was two media preview ones that were supposed to happen June 20th or 21st, and then I think it just set sail, or it's supposed to set sail in the next couple days.
Sweet.
Yeah, so the end of July or end of June media preview, one of them got canceled. I think they all got moved to the second one, but July 14th is the date that's open to the public. That's its official. It's like a 5-night Bohemian cruise. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
it
that's
looks great.
That's still on schedule.
Yeah.
From what I understand. So yeah, everyone's excited because from what we've seen so far from Disney on the ship has been all from outside the ship, and then very few media what do you call them?
There's been less media coverage on this one only because they're kind of keeping it
under
secret?
wraps a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
but it's just kind of exciting.
What was I trying to say? Like media sneak peek stuff. Yeah. So it's been very limited on what they've shown.
Again, I think that'll all come on that first 2-day cruise because, again, everyone and their mother is going to be releasing information on that.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to see it all done. And when it arrived at Port Canaveral, all the coverage on that, it's just insane how much bigger it is than the Dream and the Fantasy.
A beefy ship. So the artist renderings and all the concept art and stuff made it look a little more svelte, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but now in person, it's a big ship.
Yeah, I'm so excited though. We are hoping to do a cruise on it in the next, year or so. Again, I cannot wait to go to Castaway Cay on it and just experience the new. Did they call it a water slide ride? Or is it more of an attraction with water?
So from my understanding, again, limited information, it looks like if any one of you have a local water park,
yeah,
they all have the same version of it's called Master Blaster. So we've got Sunsplash here, in the Sacramento area. There's a bunch of Master Blaster. I'm pretty sure every water park has a Master Blaster. So it looks like that. It's basically a 2-person tube ride with ups and downs because jets shoot you up with water, right?
There's like screens and stuff inside.
But there's screens. So it's supposed to tell some kind of limited story, and it can change. So they've got 2 or 3 different types of stories.
Yeah.
So I would say it's a stretch to call it a roller coaster or something like that, right? It's not going to mimic Splash Mountain or anything.
Yeah.
But it's like an ever-changing attraction. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm super excited to go on it and just experience it. Again, I hope it's not one of those things that's down all the time because it's very tech involved. But yeah, looking forward to it.
Looks good. So this is the new workhorse for Disney. So we have to remember that this is the new Castaway Key bus, essentially. So it's taken over the Dream. The Dream's been moved, right, to Miami?
To Miami, which is kind of sad because every time we do go on a Disney cruise, we go out of Port Canaveral. And again, it's always been on the Dream. Our upcoming cruise to Alaska, of course, is going to be on the Disney Wonder. But it's going to be weird not being on the Dream anymore because we don't really sail out of Miami for anything.
No.
So.
Yeah, I mean, Port Canaveral is so close to Orlando. We usually try and tie it with the Disney World trip and hit up the parks for a couple days before we go. Miami makes less sense because it's a few-hour drive. So, it's going to be interesting not to have the Dream over at Port Canaveral. But again, the Disney Wish, if you want to go on it, I would definitely get dates and your things scheduled because they're going quickly and prices go up by the week. So if you want to do the Disney Wish in the next year, definitely get your dates for that sailing. All right, next up, we've got some Buzz Lightyear news. So this is a little old. We didn't cover it last week only because I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. But things have kind of not progressed maybe, but have snowballed a little bit into bigger news stories. So first up is the new face character that is now seen in the parks, and that is the new version of Buzz Lightyear, kind of the movie version from the recently released Lightyear. So it's the newest Pixar movie that was released on June 17th. And so this new face character looks like a normal guy in a space suit. And so people are a little confused as to what the intention was, I guess, with this. Yeah,
I think what Disney's trying to do is, I think, again, for people who, when Toy Story was a big thing, they had the animated Buzz walking around Disneyland. I think they're trying to pull away from that because if they would have had the normal animated Buzz Lightyear walking around, that would not coincide with this new movie.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is that this new movie, it's supposed to be not Buzz the toy. It's supposed to be Buzz. It's so...
in like real life, technically.
Yes, but this is the movie that Andy saw when he was a kid that made him want to go buy the Buzz Lightyear toy.
Okay.
So it's like the prequel...
right.
Real man version to the toy?
Yes. Then again, even with that, it would make sense that they wouldn't have the normal toy version walking around.
I'm not saying it makes sense for them to have the toy version coming around. I'm just saying it was an interesting creative move to have a guy with no face character. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy is walking around just like unmasked,
how would you want him to like look?
I don't know. That's why maybe they could have left it alone. I don't know.
I think it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to see like a normal person in there for once, because again, sometimes the characters with the big masks or headgear on their face.
That's fine. Does he look like the character though from the movie? From what I've seen, we haven't seen the movie yet, but from the trailer, he looks nothing like it.
Oh, really? I think he looks similar.
What?
I don't know why. Yeah, I thought they did a pretty good job at like bringing someone in that looked somewhat like the character. And then again, his suit is awesome with all the buttons and stuff on his sleeve. And
yeah, I don't know. It's weird to me.
Caleb does not agree with this statement.
I don't know. It's bizarro to me. People kind of likened it to really early Tomorrowland with literally the guy's character's name was Space Guy and like Space Woman. Oh. And they walked around. It looks exactly like that. So I don't know. Maybe they could have left it alone. I'm not a huge fan of any of this, to be quite honest. Like we'll talk about the movie next. But sometimes it's okay to leave things alone, right? Like the Toy Story franchise is great the way it is. Toy Story 1 through 4, all of them fantastic. They're milking it, man. Pixar is milking it for all it's worth. But yeah, I mean, I think people agree because listen here, it is underwhelming so far at the box office at $50 million opening weekend versus the $70 million expected. Yeah. So I think people are like maybe a little less excited for this one because you looked at me, same thing. I said, do you want to go see it? And you said, no, I'm okay. Let's wait for Disney Plus.
Because
no,
I wanted to see what? Top Gun. So everyone, let's preface this. Caleb's like, do you want to see Top Gun or Buzz? Or excuse me, Lightyear. And I'm like, Top Gun.
No, it wasn't or. It was and.
Well, because we're not going to go see 2 movies in the same day.
Oh, heaven forbid we see 2 movies in the same month. So, yeah, no, I think not only you, but I think a lot of families are like, meh, we'll wait for Disney Plus because it's not super compelling. I think people are honestly confused at the story too. Like, what? This is Lightyear for... They had to explain it, I guess, in the beginning. If you haven't seen the movie, we haven't, but someone said online on social media that they have to, there's actually like a clip in the beginning of the movie. They have to explain what you're watching.
Oh.
So it's a lot. And I hope Pixar goes back to...
Well, it is a bummer, though, that it didn't succeed in the box office because it was such a cool idea. But now I'm kind of like, again, people have spoken definitely because no one's going to see it.
Yeah.
But from people that we know that have seen it, it's been such an up and down review. Like, oh, we like really liked it. It was good. Or no, it was kind of not good at all. Like, I didn't like it. It's a bummer also because Chris Evans, like we love him as an actor. And so hopefully they'll redeem themselves with like a new movie.
Yeah. So I guess I don't have any strong opinions just yet because we haven't seen it. Of course, we'll probably end up going to see it in the theaters just to give it a watch. But so far, not crazy impressed, but hoping for better stuff in the future.
Next up, we have some Disney PhotoPass news. Disney PhotoPass has actually just released a new
service. I finished your sentence for you.
We made eye contact on that.
Yeah, I think you're like, what's the word?
The new service is called Capture Your Moment, which is actually pretty neat, especially with the stories of the proposals that just went wrong at the park.
Oh, in Paris, yeah.
But yes, Capture Your Moment is a new 20-minute photo session that can take place in front of Sleeping Beauty's castle at Disneyland Park, where you can book back-to-back photography sessions to capture your special moments with a private photographer.
Yeah, so you can do up to 40 minutes, it looks like.
Yeah.
You can book 2 sessions if you want. These photo sessions cost $99 a piece. So if you want to do 4 hours, 40 minutes, which is the max allotted. It's a couple $100. So some of the example photos on the Disneyland website include like birthday props, engagements, graduation. So any kind of special moment. I don't think there's really any, like it must be a birthday or it must be your anniversary to book these things. You could say it's Fido's birthday, our family dog, and take pictures in front of the castle.
And honestly, I think it's pretty great because, again, so many people propose at Disneyland or have a special graduation or have a special family reunion or whatever it is.
Yeah.
There's so many special occasions that you can celebrate there. But just being able to have someone already set aside to capture that moment, whether it's a surprise or not a surprise, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
So
a cool new feature. Again, I think you're right. Like trying to wrangle one of the poor Disney PhotoPass photographers for a big group, right?
Yeah, or waiting in line for one.
Yeah,
especially at the castle.
So if you have the means to, book it for $100, which I would argue is well worth it if you have kind of a once in a lifetime trip where grandma and aunts and uncles are all showing up. That's a cool moment to capture.
Yeah. And we also got some information on Walt Disney World News today that with these photo session packages, that gratuity is not required. With that, I was going to ask you, is it something you can tip? Because I thought you couldn't tip cast members.
Great question.
Because I don't know if since it's a private session technically that you can.
Yeah. So maybe they've made, because I was able to... Well, tip was, remember, so I just, if you listen to last week's episode, you'll hear our June trip report where I went to that Tenaya Stone spa.
Yeah.
So tip was included in that.
Right.
So my assumption would be that there are some exceptions to the rules on what cast members you can tip. Maybe these private photo session folks can get tipped.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny how they had to say gratuity is not required. Usually it's a given for most cast members because you can't really tip them. So maybe there's an exception to the rule, which I hope there is because they're offering good service.
Right.
Let us tip them. So again, thanks for WDWNT. Did I get that right?
Walt Disney World News Today.
Walt Disney World News Today for all this information. But fun new service coming to PhotoPass. All right, that brings us to our last section of news stories. And it's all Christmas themed.
Christmas is coming. Woo, woo. Well, Halloween's coming first, but Christmas is coming. Yes.
Halfway to not halfway to Halloween, halfway to the holidays. That's what they're calling it. It's kind of a big deal in Disney World, and they've released some information for all of us. So First up, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, which takes place over in Disney World. The dates were released. So November 8th through December 22nd, you can experience this after hours event over at the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
And prices range from $149 to $199 per person.
That is steep.
It is steep. Looks like there was a price increase. I think, if I'm not mistaken, maybe wrong because we are West Coast people, but from what I've seen, it looks like these started last year, I think around $129 a person. So it looks like there was a slight price increase there. And of course, that depends on what date you choose. So if you choose that December 22nd date, you best believe you're paying $199 a person. But I'm assuming not as popular dates, you're going to be paying that lower price.
I'm very curious. Again, I don't know what days these fall on, like December 22nd, but I'm very curious why they didn't end it on Christmas Eve. Like, I think that would be fun to go to on Christmas Eve.
Good question.
Like, if you're there.
Assuming.
So cast members can be with family and stuff. I'm hoping.
No, because they're open on December 24th.
Yeah, but aren't these extra hour events, though?
Yeah. I don't think I think they just close it at 8 and they go through midnight like normal.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming
I'm just curious, yeah.
It serves them better to have the parks wide open because less people attend those parties, right?
Gotcha.
They'd rather have those parks probably at capacity.
Right.
Buying food, buying merch.
Yeah.
Right.
And hopefully, again, with the price increase, that means that they're going to be adding new exciting events or pop-ups or whatever it might be.
I'd hope so.
I hope.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we won't be attending this year, but that would be nice if they did.
Yeah.
But over on the West Coast side,
Heyo.
Disneyland has some Christmas shows returning. Disneyland just announced that Believe in Holiday Magic, fireworks, and will be returning to the Disneyland Resort, and also World of Color Season of Light.
Yeah, I'm excited for that because I don't think I've seen.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, so we definitely have to plan. I ended up telling Caitlin, like, oh God, like when they released this news, I'm like, looks like we have to book a Christmas trip.
Oh,
we're going for Halloween.
Yes.
And I think we have to add Christmas to the list.
We usually go for Christmas.
We try, just
or
with the dates.
At least the holiday season. We don't go on Christmas.
Yeah.
But
no, God, no. Yeah. I like Christmas at home.
I like being home.
And not, battling
But
crowds.
we do know people that like to go to the parks for, like, on Thanksgiving Day or Christmas Day.
That would be awesome if we weren't blocked out because of our magic keys.
Yeah.
And I had more patience, probably, I could totally do it. But big crowds on those days doesn't sound like me.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so it's fun to see that those shows are coming back and not just the vanilla, which both are great, don't get me wrong, but it's fun to have those themed shows.
Oh, of course.
What's next? The merch?
Yes. So with the announcement of being halfway to the holidays, Disney has released a preview of some Christmas holiday merch items. Just a couple ideas or things that they have mentioned. There's a new pair of ears, and they look, for those who haven't seen, they're like Toy Story holiday ears. So
They're
it
like
has
ornaments.
Yeah, they're ornaments for like the ear portion. And there's, on the left-hand side, there's the pig from Toy Story. And then on the other side is the sheep from Bo Peep's, or Bo Peep's sheep. The sheep
Bo
from Bo
Peeps,
Peep.
the movie?
Yeah. They're very interesting. They're not my favorite. There was also a Spirit jersey released. It looks like it has like snowmen all over it. For the back of the Spirit jersey, it says Happy Holidays. There's like ornaments, there's candy canes, there's little Mickey heads on it.
It's like green and blue.
Again, it's okay. Again, not my favorite. Also, which this one was very exciting, Disney has released a new Loungefly backpack. This thing's pretty cute. It has a huge Mickey peppermint sequenced red and white candy on the front as like the front pocket. And then the back of the backpack is almost like what color would you say that is? Like aquamarine?
Yeah, Christmas
Teal.
color, aquamarine.
Yeah. It's like a teal background with a red handle, and there's like, again, peppermint candies and gingerbread all over it. Would I buy it? No, because I'm very particular about like Loungeflies, but I do think it's a cute backpack.
I think all of this is trash.
That's very rude.
All this merch is pretty rough. I don't like any of it.
But I do have to say, the ones that are released way early, like all the holiday merch, whether it's for Halloween or Christmas, none of the early merch is good. It's the merch that they release like a month before the events. That stuff's always good.
My question is, why even have...
I have no idea.
Like, not as good merch?
I have no idea. Because,
what's the thought process?
Again, it's like last year for Disneyland for Halloween. They released like all the pumpkin ears and like all that kind of stuff. The really pretty like plaid, like sequenced orange bow ears, those came out in like end of August, early September, like right when Halloween was starting at the parks. So again, I think they kind of like just get you like ready, and then the big wow factor merch comes out like closer to the event.
So all the new employees like design the early stuff, and then all the seasoned ones gets the.
I don't know.
It's weird. Anyways, yeah, so if you want some, I would say, subpar merch, go ahead and order that.
Oh my gosh. If you like the merch, you buy the merch. You do
you know what? If you like them, no hard feelings.
No.
I probably like stuff that you don't like, but I don't get this one. It's not that great to me. But the Halfway to Holidays merch is becoming available, which makes me even more excited for the holidays in the park since it's so fun. And that's it.
Okay.
Alrighty, so that brings us to our main segment / kind of main game of today's episode, and that is This or That Disneyland Resort Edition. So I had asked Caitlin, this was Caitlin's idea, which is awesome, by the way.
Thanks.
We were at Starbucks just exchanging ideas, drinking, sipping coffee. And my vanilla latte, what'd you get? We weren't at Starbucks, we were at Pete's.
Pete's.
Sorry.
I got a caramel macchiato, and let me tell you,
fancy.
It's the best caramel macchiato I've ever had.
Yeah, I like Pete's. But no, we were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, that sounds great. And then I kind of started going into like, would you rather? And then you're like, no, that's kind of not what it is. So I needed to get an explanation as to what this or that was.
Okay.
And so I'll explain.
Okay, perfect.
I looked it up myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, this or that's kind of like, what do you prefer and why?
Yeah,
so if I said,
we play all the time at home.
Yeah, we always play this like for fun. I didn't know there was a name attached to it.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll go, hey, In-N-Out or Shake Shack, and then that's a tough one.
I would have to say, I'm just going to answer it. In-N-Out burgers, Shake Shack fries.
You can't do that.
I know.
You can't like split it.
This is us at home.
Okay.
We're like, we.
So Caitlin makes up her own rules for this, but no, in this edition, in this version, we are not going to be able to just split it down the middle.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, you're going to have to pick one or the other. They're meant to be hard, and the fun part of this is that we're going to explain why throughout the whole thing.
Right.
And again, you can play this at home. Use these against your kids, your spouse, your friends.
Whoever.
And whoever you want.
Let's see if your team
the cashier at Target, ask them.
Don't do that. They'll be like, what?
No, do it.
All right, let's see if the listener, if you listening, I'm talking to you right now, if you're going to be Team Caleb on this or Team Caitlin. We're going to see.
Rude. I'm going to take sides.
I don't know.
All right, let's dive in.
All right.
First one, we've got Grand Californian Hotel or the Disneyland Hotel.
Okay.
Paradise Pier doesn't even,
Not
that'd
yet.
be too easy.
Okay, do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
No, I'm asking you this first.
Okay, so this one is a little tricky because if you've listened to a couple previous episodes, I've mentioned that I really want to stay at the Disneyland Hotel. Caleb hasn't been there yet. Only I've stayed there when I was really little. And then vice versa with the Grand Californian, I have never stayed there. And then Caleb has stayed there with his family when he was younger.
Mm-hmm.
So with all that said, I do like these hotels for different reasons. I honestly think that the room is better in the Disneyland Hotel versus the Grand Californian. However, I think I would rather stay at the Grand Californian only because if I had to choose, the views that you can get of DCA in the Grand Californian are amazing. So again, another example, Caleb's dream is to stay in the Grand Californian Hotel overlooking Grizzly River Run. You can't do that at the Disneyland Hotel.
Nope.
You can get Park View and see the fireworks and downtown Disney, but you're not actually in the park.
Yeah, right now it's a view of a construction site.
Exactly. So if we're going to go overall, I'm going to have to say Grand Californian.
Oh, shoot.
I know. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah, it's the same.
Same question.
Same question. I'll Grand Californian. I'll spare you guys all the explanation. Caitlin pretty much just explained it perfectly. The Disneyland Hotel rooms look more fanciful and like Disney-esque. Grand California's got way less Disney theming, I would argue, way more subtle, but you cannot beat the proximity to the parks or the views.
Right.
So, yeah, the view, me waking up and going out to my balcony and seeing Grizzly River Run, Grizzly Peak, hearing that music.
Or Pixar Pier.
Good grief, that'd be a dream.
And you can eat breakfast at Grand Californian easier than the Disneyland Hotel because you only have like Goofy's Kitchen.
Oh,
and
I think they have a quick dining option, but their version of that is like a coffee shop, and it's like,
oh, okay,
it's not a lot of food.
Not
though.
as gluten friendly.
No,
gluten free friendly.
Yeah, so Grand California has a lot more gluten free stuff for me. So yeah, that was a good one. Okay,
right.
You go up next.
Next up, Caleb, Disneyland Forever or World of Color?
Ooh, this one's hard. Because Disneyland Forever is my favorite fireworks show. It's got the best music ever.
Mm-hmm.
World of Color being my favorite show all around. I'm going to have to give it to World of Color just because when I think of Disney nighttime stuff, I think of World of Color. I love it.
I have to agree. I would say World of Color as well. Only because, again, I love Disneyland Forever, but on a night where it's windy, they don't just not do the show.
Okay.
They will, like, for example, if it's windy, they cancel fireworks. They'll do the Main Street version.
It's Mickey. Oh no, hold on. It's oh crud, what's it called?
I have no idea.
No. Mix Mash or something.
Mickey's Mix Magic.
Mix Magic.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Yeah. It's a party. It's a party.
Yeah.
That one.
Which again, I'm kind of like.
It's not as cool. So it's like a light. It's essentially a projection / light show.
Yeah.
And
in World of Color, I feel like makes you feel an emotion. At least it does with you and I. There's just nothing like getting in the pier. If it's cold outside, getting hot chocolate, or it's a whole experience.
So you're talking like it happens no matter what the weather is, whereas Disneyland Forever is at the mercy of wind.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Which again, in Anaheim,
Happens
gets canceled all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So again, in our last June trip report, we only got to see it one night because the rest of the nights it was canceled.
Mm-hmm.
So again,
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Good point. I agree with you. So far, we're agreeing. So if you're on
what
Team
the heck?
Caitlin or Caleb, you are tied.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Pirates of the Caribbean or Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion.
That was too easy.
I know.
Why?
Okay, well, again, if you were to have asked me this, gosh, I don't even know, 10 years ago, I would have said Pirates. I love Pirates for the nostalgia of being a young kid. It's just the smells.
What was your favorite ride?
Yes, it was my favorite ride. Now, I'm like, I literally could not imagine myself not going on Haunted Mansion while at Disneyland. I like the normal version. We get so excited for the holiday overlay. Like that's the Jack Skellington Night Before Christmas, that whole vibe of that ride. It's just amazing. I love Haunted Mansion. And there's just something about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Magic mixed with spooky. It's great.
Yeah, both classic rides, so it makes it a hard decision. 100% agree with you. Haunted Mansion, I think that's not a secret. That's my favorite ride in the park.
Yeah.
So I'll have to go with Haunted Mansion. A little easier decision for me. But let me give you another reason as to why I'm going to go that route. Pirates of the Caribbean in recent years, I know it's under a giant refurb, so this may change when it opens back up in July. But in recent years, there are so many features, things broken in that ride. So Jack Sparrow looks jacked up in half of the scenes.
Which hopefully they just fixed.
Hopefully, because the animatronics all messed up. You've got, there's a lady chasing a guy in one of the scenes in the fire scene with like a rolling pin or something.
Yeah.
That's broken half the time. It's not spinning. You've got the room where it's supposed to be like falling because of the fire.
Yeah.
Like it's all broke.
At the end of the ride.
The end of the ride.
Like where they're shooting cannons
yeah.
at each other.
So that's supposed to be moving. Like that above you, it's supposed to look like, oh, it's going to fall on us at any moment. That's been broken for years.
Yeah. And it
So
move.
there's so many things in there that it's very glaring. If you've ridden the ride at least a couple times, you'll know what's broken. Whereas Haunted Mansion seems to be in better condition half the time. And even if there is a broken element, it's harder to notice.
Well, yeah, I honestly, I was just thinking right now, what have we noticed is broken?
The only thing I've noticed that's been broken was the Hatbox Ghost.
I was just gonna say that, yeah.
The projection wasn't working, and then actually one time when did we go with my family?
October.
In October, the ghost host wasn't even talking.
That's it was right. That was weird.
Completely silent ride.
Yeah, that was weird.
So that happens once in a while, but way less often, I would argue, than a Pirates of the Caribbean mishap. So I would say it's just a better, conditioned ride.
I agree.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. You're up next.
All right, next up, Caleb, do you prefer Christmas or Halloween at the parks? And we're going to keep this specifically to Disneyland, like the Anaheim one.
Disneyland Resort.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. I was like, wait, Disneyland or DCA? So both. I'm going to go with, I would have to think about this longer in real life, but like for the sake of the podcast, I'm going to just kind of blurt out what I'm feeling. I'm going to give it to, oh my gosh, Halloween. Because growing up, I actually hated Halloween. I hated that holiday. And there's a million reasons why, and I can get it. That's another podcast. But I did not like Halloween growing up. And so Christmas would have been my answer 5 years ago. But after experiencing Halloween with you a couple of times and what Disney does for the parks. And there's a little one that's it annoys me. The Christmas music that plays throughout Disneyland at Christmas time is so annoying. After like day 2, I'm like, if I hear that weird version of like Jingle Bells one more time, I'm going to lose it. I love Christmas music. I start listening to Christmas music like November 5th.
But it's the same loop of like Mickey and friends singing Christmas songs.
Well, yeah, it's not even, remember, they're kind of like sad. They're like sad Christmas songs for some reason.
Yeah.
Like the way they're played is very bizarre to me.
Different.
So yeah, I'm not a giant fan of the music they play during Christmas time, so I'll have to give it to Halloween. And like Oogie Boogie, like even DCA, when it's decorated for Halloween, it is so good. The bats flying out, Oogie Boogie up there projected on Carthay Circle.
And Oogie Boogie Bash.
They got it, man.
The parade that they do with the Headless Horseman, the crows that come back every October for the event.
Which I was like, I'm convinced they like feed them during this time of year so they stick around.
There's so many of them.
I know, there's so many. There's like 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
so yeah, I'll give it to Halloween reluctantly, but yeah.
Well, again, everyone probably who's listened to us knows that I would rather have Halloween.
You love
it's
Halloween.
my favorite time of year to go. Like if I could only go to Disneyland once a year, it'd be for Halloween. I love it. It's my favorite time of year.
This is new for you because I took you, I think, for the first time 3 years ago. Or no, that can't be right.
2 years ago.
That was 2020.
No, because remember we went prior to COVID. And
19.
then it shut down. Yeah.
October 2019 was the first time you went for Halloween.
Yes. And then we went with your family last year.
Yeah.
Yes. It's just my favorite. I love fall. I love pumpkins. I love the treats. Again, I love Nightmare Before Christmas, on the Haunted Mansion, it's my favorite time of year.
All
so
right.
Halloween, 100%, always.
All right.
Yeah.
I respect that answer. Again, so far we are the same. We have not.
It's going to get a little more tricky as we go down, trust me.
Okay, let's do it. So you asked me Christmas or Halloween. Next up, we've got Boardwalk Pizza or Alien Pizza Planet.
Yes. So for this one, it's going to be, you're going to laugh, it's going to be simple and sweet. Boardwalk Pizza, 100%.
Oh.
I like that I like the salads better at Boardwalk Pizza.
Yeah, and if really quick, just if people don't know what we're talking about. So Boardwalk Pizza is the Disney's California Adventures version of pizza. So it's their pizza restaurant in the back corner over by
like a jumping jellyfish.
Yes.
And where Goofy Sky School is. So there's like a pavilion back there.
Yep.
And the food's constantly changing.
One is like a Mediterranean style, what used to be, and now they flip it. And then the other one's always pizza and pasta.
Yeah, I think you can meet
Miguel.
No. It's the one. What's her name? Is it
Mirabelle?
Mirabelle from Encanto.
Oh, she's
back
over
there
there
right now. I think she's back there right now.
Okay, cool.
But anyway, yes, I would do the Boardwalk Pizza. It's just, I like the vibe better over there. I like sitting outside. The Alien Pizza Planet place, again, they have good food. There's so many people over there. It's busy. I don't like it.
Because it's right next to Space Mountain.
But again, we do eat there. But
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I get
what
that.
About you?
So you just like the ambiance a little bit.
Yeah, I like the ambiance better at Boardwalk.
And their live music's awesome.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. That's the main reason.
The Mariachi Divas.
Yeah.
Bomb. Yeah. Seriously, I love them.
And you just have more to look at.
Yeah. I always take videos and tell my mom to send them to my grandma because she loves like mariachi music.
Yeah,
and so I'm always like, send it to Nana. Actually, this is the first one where I disagree. I'm going to go Alien Pizza Planet.
Okay.
Only because I will argue, yes, you're right on like ambiance and like the feeling of the restaurant is better over at Boardwalk. But I'm going to pick Alien Pizza Planet because it has a special place in my heart. I took you there. So the first time we went to Disneyland together was when we were dating in 2013. Mm-hmm. We went with your family. Uh-huh. And it was our first, we both loved Disney growing up. And when we dated, we knew we loved it. But your parents were like, hey, do you want to come tag along on our vacation? I said, yeah. Mm-hmm. So we went together. And so we had like one date night where I said, hey, I'm going to take you, your family went and did something. And I said, I'm going to take you for a date night.
No.
And so we went to, at the time was Red Rocket's Pizza Port.
Yeah.
And then it changed to Alien Pizza Planet. So I took you there. And I don't know why. It's just like, yeah. Theme park pizza for a date night. You loved it.
That was the most magical. You
I just graduated high school the year before.
Who cares?
So I was making the big bucks over at, I don't know where I was working.
I don't know
either. But anyways, I took you for some pizza, theme park pizza. And then we went and park hopped over to DCA and we rode the Mickey's Fun Wheel. What's it called now? Pixar Pal Around.
Was that trip?
It was that trip. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I didn't even remember that.
Yeah. So that's why I'm choosing it.
Oh my gosh, you're so I'm over here like boardwalk.
Yeah, rude. You don't remember our awesome date night?
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
No.
Loaded you up with pizza and they got you nauseous on the Mickey's.
Well, we didn't go on the swinging one, right?
We
didn't.
My
gosh, do not go on the swinging version.
No, so that was a fun night. So that's why I'm choosing the subpar pizza over at Alien Pizza Planet.
That's very sweet of you.
All right, next up, you go.
Okay, so this is really hard. Caleb, I'm already what am I going to say? Lamplight Lounge or Wine Country, is it Trattoria?
I think it's Trattoria, but people over here call it Trattoria.
According to Stanley Tucci, it's
Trattoria. Yeah. What's it called? The show we watched?
Oh gosh, something in Italy.
It's Searching for Italy or something.
Searching in Italy or something.
So good. It's such a good show.
It's a good show.
He says Trattoria.
Yeah.
And so I'm going with the Tooch. The Tooch. Okay, so Lamplight Lounge, this is a hard one, or Wine Country. That's really hard because Wine Country has been our favorite restaurant forever, for years. And we just tried Lamplight Lounge for the first time this last trip. But I'm going to have to go with, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to go with Lamplight.
Okay, why?
That's hard. That's really hard. I'm going to go because I think their food is more unique at Lamplight. I can get pretty good Italian in most cities, right? I can get good Italian down the street from us, 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get the type of food that Lamplight serves. I don't know if I can get a really good version of that, gluten-free for me personally too, in the area. So it's a little more special food-wise, and it's got both an outside and inside element. Wine Country's inside seating is terrible. It's really cruddy theming, and it's hot. I don't even think they have AC in there. It's just fans. And Lamplight has a awesome sit-down area on the inside, and also probably even greater outside seating area. So they've got just awesome seating. So yeah. I'll go with Lamplight.
I agree.
You going with that
Yeah,
too?
I'm going to have to say, again, it's hard because like you mentioned, Wine Country has been our favorite up until this past June trip that we had. For example, the pasta at Wine Country is so good, but the nachos at Lamplight that we had, I honestly can't think of one place that we could have nachos that equal how amazing those were.
Very good.
And just the ambiance, how you can sit outside and overlook the pier. Or if you're inside, just all the Pixar elements. It literally doesn't even feel like you're at the park.
Yeah.
So again, for those who have not gone to Lamplight, go to Lamplight, get the lobster nachos, but instead of lobster, get chicken, and your life will be changed.
Yeah.
And tag us in it so that we can just look at the picture and just drool over how amazing those nachos
and
are.
Get hungry.
Yeah.
All right. Good answer. Next up, we've got Soarin' or Guardians of the Galaxy.
This one's very
Mission
easy for
Breakout.
me. Soarin'. I love Guardians, preferably the one during Halloween, the overlay.
Yeah, what's that?
Monsters Unleashed.
Something like that.
Yes. I'm not going to lie, Guardians makes me very motion sick, so I have to focus really hard when I'm on that ride. I mean, I like it a lot, but I will never not ride it, but it just makes me a little queasy. Soarin' is just so classic. Every time I see videos of it when people are there, every time I'm on it, I just feel like this is the most Disney magic ever.
Yeah.
So Soarin' 100%.
Okay.
And Soarin' over California is my favorite.
Well, okay. So that's
But Soarin' over the world is fine too.
So this is what I was going to this leads into my answer. I was going to pick Guardians because the new Soarin' over the world is like way not good compared to Soarin' over California. So I was going to use that as a qualifier as to why I chose Guardians. I get motion sick as well. I don't get as motion sick on that ride as you do. One of the few ones I don't. But I love that ride. I love how it changes every single time.
I do too.
I love the different music they play. I love the movies. So seeing
I do too.
Chris Pratt as Star-Lord is awesome.
Yeah.
And I just love how they got all the original cast to do their stuff.
Yeah.
So love the ride, but I don't love Soarin' over the world. So again, if it was Soarin' over California normally and wasn't seasonal thing, I would choose probably Soarin' because I like that ride a lot. But now that they switched to Soarin' over the world, I don't like it as much, so I'm going to go with Guardians.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like I would choose Guardians, honestly, if it wasn't for the motion sickness. But just to give you an idea, like, you know how when they're showing you the screens and you're kind of moving up and down slightly? Like, I have to close my eyes the entire time because if I watch those scenes, I'll get super sick. Mm-hmm. So I'm missing half the ride. I'm only there for like the drops of the music.
That makes sense.
So again, if I wasn't so motion sick, I would probably choose that one over Soarin'. But again, the motion sickness is not fun.
Okay, understand that. I agree. I can't ride Star Tours anymore. It used to be my favorite ride.
Yeah, same.
I get very sick.
Getting old stinks.
Yeah, old man. Things pop and break and crack when I get up. All right, next up, we've got... Oh, no. Sorry, it's you.
Me.
My bad.
This is a good one.
Almost took your thunder.
Do you prefer Disneyland during the day or Disneyland at night?
Okay. And this applies to DCA too, right?
Yes.
The resort.
The Disney parks.
Disneyland parks. I'm going to go nighttime.
Okay.
There is especially Southern California, it's hot. Not only because of weather, and it's just more pleasant year-round at nighttime there, but when those lights come on Main Street and the smells of dessert and dinners going on, it's different. It's a different energy. And the nighttime shows, you can hear them off in the distance. And Galaxy's Edge, when that lights up, when Cars Land lights up, it's just a different energy.
Fireworks.
The fireworks are going off. It's an awesome time to go to the park. So I'm going to go nighttime.
You hit it completely on the head with the nail or with the hammer, whatever the one.
You hit the nail on the hammer with that one.
You literally said everything I was going to say. So yes, I pick nighttime as well.
Awesome. I agree.
You hit the hammer on the head of whatever.
Okay, next up, this is for all you shopping fans. Do you like shopping at the Emporium or Elias & Co.?
Elias & Co. 100%.
Whoa.
The Emporium is so busy, I cannot even deal with it anymore.
Okay.
Every time that we've gone in there, someone, you're literally, again, granted, it's when we go in there, this is my personal preference, you're literally packed in there like sardines. People are going different directions. There's no merch in there because that's the first place everyone goes to get stuff. And there's just, I don't know. I just feel like this probably isn't true, it's just in my brain. I feel like the newer items are always in Elias & Co.
Okay.
And when I end up buying merch, it's always from Elias & Co. I don't know if that's just because, and again, that's usually not the first store we go into. So I just like it better over there.
Yeah, I'd agree. Elias & Co., I think they had a better understanding of crowd levels, right, when they built those. So there's way more room to walk around. It's a little more open space versus Emporium, which is very low ceilings, kind of squished in there, like you said, like sardines. And I think you're right. I think they're stocked better over at DCA. I don't know if they have a warehouse closer or they just whatever. But you're right. Every single time we need something that's in demand, we find it over in DCA versus Disneyland.
Except for those Scarlet Witch ears.
I know. The hunt, man. Every single day we went and looked around and you cannot find them.
No one. And then I did speak to a cast member. Sorry, this is off topic. But they said they're not getting any back until fall.
I don't know if I believe that.
And nothing on Shop Disney. So one day it'll happen.
Maybe he's right.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Next up. This one's funny. Do you prefer Market House or Fiddler, Pfeiffer, and Practical Cafe?
Okay. So again, if you're confused by that collection of words there, Market House is the essentially Starbucks over in Disneyland, and Fiddler, Pfeiffer, and Practical Cafe is the Starbucks over in DCA.
Yeah.
So based off name alone, I'd totally go Fiddler, Pfeiffer, and Practical because it's just funny.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to go with Market House because that's the name of our podcast.
I was going to say, are you choosing them?
No, of course not. No, they are not super. No, the Market House, it's
a different vibe in there.
It is a different vibe. It feels like Walt was in there ordering a caramel
latte
cappuccino.
Yeah. And again, the one in DCA, the Fiddler Pfeiffer one, it doesn't really feel Disney-esque in there.
And I don't like how it shares space with the ice cream spot.
Clarabelle's.
I do not like that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Keep them separate.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it safe. But yeah, no, Market House, I'm going to go with that, of course, because that's the name of our podcast. Duh. And if you're new here, now you know why we named it Market House. The whole idea was hey, listener, kick back, drink a cup of coffee, which is my favorite drink on God's green earth, and listen to us talk Disney.
Yeah.
So that's where it was from. Mm-hmm. If you got a problem with it, write us at markethousepodcast@gmail.com.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Please don't.
I don't know why you'd have a problem with that, but okay, so you asked me that one. We're down to our last couple. Splash Mountain or Grizzly River Run, and there's a twist on this one.
Okay.
It's not just the ride, because I think I know which one you'd pick, but you have to ride it 5 times in a row. Both rides you're bound to get soaked on either one, but you have to ride this thing 5 times in a row.
Okay.
Which one are you riding?
If I'm mentally prepared for the ride, I would have to choose Grizzly River Run. And even just saying that gives me anxiety.
You have to get hyped up, man.
It's okay, and here's why I would choose it, just briefly. With Splash Mountain, there's only a couple times you can get wet, right? There's only a couple. It's the main one, and the one in the dark that kind of goes up and down.
with the before the after the bees.
After the bees.
Yeah.
Which is not like heavily lit up anymore. You
It's
can't see
pitch
it a lot.
black.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's only a couple times. Grizzly River Run, you have no idea if you're going to walk out completely soaked, like literally dripping wet, which we saw people in June come out that way, or if you're just going to barely get like a little wet.
Yeah.
So I think the excitement of that at night, being like, I'm doing this 5 times and just walking out soaked would just be hilarious.
Yeah.
But I would have to choose that one because that ride at night is just scary. It's terrifying.
Okay.
It's so dark and just hearing the sounds. And
Yeah.
I think it'd be a better, I don't know. I think Splash Mountain will get a little boring.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm going to have to just, I don't know, not devil's advocate, but I'm just going to have to go the opposition. I'm going to go with Splash Mountain only because I think we've got limited time with Splash Mountain.
It's not going away. It's just getting rethemed.
No, I know that. I know.
Yeah.
But this was like one of my favorite rides growing up.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
it's one of those where to hear that song and to see the characters, I might want to soak it up 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
Just seeing, what's his name? Briar Bear or whatever.
Briar Rabbit.
No, they all have Briar in front of their name. But the bear, all his scenes make me
Briar
laugh.
Fox.
Yeah, all of his scenes make me laugh.
Yeah.
Just him getting.
Well, and when we went on that last time, that was like one of the highlights of the trip was riding that ride at night.
It was fun.
When it had like a 5-minute wait. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. This is the grand finale, the big cheese, the grand bologna. I don't know what that means. This is the big one. You ask it.
Disneyland or DCA?
Bum, bum, bum. Okay. This is the big one. This is a hard question. When I saw this written down, I was like, that's mean.
Should we say at the same time?
No. Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Wait, do you have your answer?
I do.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
DCA.
Disneyland.
Oh!
I love it.
All right. Tell me why.
Do you want to go first? Well, I asked you, so you go first.
Okay. I think in recent years, I used to tell, like, when people look me in the eye and told me that DCA was better, I'm like, there's something wrong with you, bro.
Yeah.
How can you say that? Mm-hmm. The only reason I'm saying that now is because in the last couple of years, I found myself spending more time in DCA. And there's a couple reasons for that. Number one, crowd levels feel more manageable in DCA. When it's really busy, you feel it a little less over there because there's more room to walk around. They took that into consideration when they built the place. So wider walkways, all that stuff.
Okay.
Attraction-wise, I feel like, again, you can find a couple of rides that have small wait times. When Disneyland's packed, everything's
That's
45
true.
minutes. Mm-hmm. Second reason is, it's just more of a practical thing. I'm gluten-free. I have to eat gluten-free. DCA has 5 times the amount of gluten-free options for me than Disneyland.
Except for breakfast.
Except for breakfast. I'd be on my own for breakfast. But DCA, at the end of the day, has way more food options, and I'd say better food options overall than Disneyland.
Okay. So I completely agree with everything you said, and this was really hard. The way I chose, honestly, was if I had to go without one park, what one would I rather keep? Mm-hmm. And with that question, it was Disneyland because it's so nostalgic.
100%.
But I have to say, some of my favorite moments ever have been walking around a DCA, around the Pixar Pier area, going into Bing Bongs. Like I've said 50 times, go get the chocolate caramels. Get them. They're so good. But no, getting those, walking around, waiting for World of Color, eating those. It's just a different vibe over there. So now I'm like, no, I don't know. Maybe I want to do DCA. I don't know.
Disneyland.
I'll stick to Disneyland, but my favorite memories have been at DCA. So
that's a solid answer. I don't think there's a wrong answer here.
Yeah, it's just hard. And I think it just depends on time of year, crowd level. I don't know. You know what? No, I'm retracting it.
Whoa.
I'm going to say DCA because every time I think of Pixar Pier and like Lamplight Lounge with you, like it makes me smile. And I know that sounds cheesy, but it's so true. I have so much fun going over there and just walking and talking and getting those caramels, whether we go to Lamplight, whether it's Wine Country. It's just
DCA.
It's just, yeah.
Okay. That's a solid answer. I love it. All right. That's the end. That is the end of This or That. We hope you had fun. If you played along, definitely shoot us a message on Instagram and let us know what you picked or why you disagree or agree with us.
Yeah, let us know. I'm interested.
Yeah, let us know. If there's one that you guys all discussed at home or with friends or whatever, let us know which one you talked about and why you chose what you chose.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. Again, if you're new here, welcome. If you've been listening for a while, welcome back. We are so happy you're here, hanging out with us, spending 45 minutes to an hour, just chilling with us every week. So we appreciate that.
Yeah.
You can find us over on Instagram at Market House Podcast. Make sure to follow us over there. Again, interact, send us a message. We'd love to chat. We've had a couple of folks chatting back and forth, just talking about Disneyland experiences and just all the wacky stuff people get involved with. And
it's so fun.
So fun.
It like makes my day when people do that.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So we have a blast talking to you guys. So again, don't be afraid to shoot us a message if you want to talk. And Market House Pod over on Twitter.
Yes.
If you want to get some kind of more daily update stuff or newsy stuff.
Caleb's killing it over there.
Oh, you flatter me. Thank you. Consider leaving a review over on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. That would be so helpful.
Yes, please.
It would knock us up on the search results if someone looks up Disneyland Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
That would help us climb the ladder on results. So if you can leave us a podcast review, that would be much appreciated just to hear your thoughts on what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for listening. Again, we will have the winner of our giveaway on, by the time you're listening to this, it's already going to be announced.
It'll be announced already, yeah.
On Instagram. Again, if you're not following us, get over there and follow us.
Mm-hmm.
And but next week we'll mention the winner, and hopefully we know what they did with it, or they don't have to tell us that.
And just look forward to their many exciting things to come very soon.
Okay, cool.
So I can't wait. I'm so
all right.
excited.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but I'm excited too. Thank you so much
All
for
right,
listening.
guys.
Have a great rest of your week.
Bye.